Welcome back, dear children. Now, the next attempt is he took somebody's umbrella, right? So, slowly he was coming outside, and the man whose umbrella is taken was coming and saying, I, said the umbrella man. That is, see the gap between all these are hesitatingly, they both are speaking together. You know how these things happen? If that's your umbrella, I'm very sorry. I found it this morning in a restaurant. If you say it's yours, I hope you will. That means what? The umbrella was not his umbrella. He was also stealing things from others. Right? So, next is let us try what happens next. It's mine, cried Soapy. Cried here, shouted, with anger in his voice. The umbrella man hurried away. He went off very fast. The cop helped a lady cross the street. Can you able to see a cop crossing a street, right? Soapy walked east. He threw the umbrella as far as he could throw it. He walked to himself about cops and what he thought of them because he wished to be arrested. He wants to be arrested. That is the only thing in his mind. Okay, they seems to believe he was like a king who could do no wrong. At last, Soapy came to one of the quiet streets on the side in the city. He turned here and began to walk south towards Madison Square. Now he was going home. Which is his home? Yes, only a seat in the park. Although home was only a seat in the park. So this is what is his home. He came to his home back. But at a very quiet corner, Soapy stopped. Here was his old childhood home. Now he is remembering his childhood home. Through one window, he could see a soft light shining that had been his living room, where he had spent many happy, peaceful moments. All that comes to his mind now. Sweet music came to Soapy's ears and seemed to hold him there. So now he is realizing and he is remembering, he is recollecting all his childhood days. Now the moon was above, that means night. Now night started. Peaceful and bright. He was in the seat now. There were few people passing. Now everybody went home because it was a cool winter. So everybody went home. Few people were passing. He could hear birds high above him. Can you able to see a bird flying there near the tree? So now birds are all coming to its nest. And the music that came from the room held Soapy there, for he had known it well long ago. In those days his life contained such things as mothers and flowers and high hopes. So everybody will have a dream and high hopes, right? So I want to be a collector, engineer, doctor, and my life is going to be very bright. My future is going to be very bright. All these hopes will be there. And friends will be there. Very good friends will be there. And clean thoughts. So no dirt in the thoughts, no negative thoughts. Only positive thoughts will be there for children, right? And he wore very clean clothes. So all these were there in his life. Then why it turned like this? Now he was a homeless and jobless person. How this happened? Now, there was a sudden and wonderful change in his soul. He saw with thick fear how he had fallen. Why this happens in my life? He saw his worthless days, his wrong desires, his dead hopes, the lost power of his mind. So now he was thinking of childhood days there. He was very well, he had clean thoughts. After that, when he was growing, his desire went wrong. He had a bad friendship, he had wrong wishes, dead hopes. So he lost his power, his mind lost his power, and thus he came to this situation. And also, in a moment, his heart answered this change in his soul. He would fight to change his life, he would pull himself up out of the mud. He would make a man of himself again. So his mind is fighting with himself. Why can't you change even now? Now also it's not time, right? Now you can change yourself. You pull yourself in a right path. You can change yourself as a good soul. That is what his mind says to himself. So there was time. He was young enough. He was very young. He would find his old purpose in life and follow it. He would have some dream, right? So try, go into that path, try to achieve that dream. And that sweet music had changed him. Tomorrow he would find work. So what happens is now the decision changed. What is the previous decision? What is his previous wish? He wants to go to prison. Now his decision had changed that he want to go to work. A man had once offered him a job, but he rejected. Now he would find that man tomorrow. He would be somebody in the world. Definitely somebody will give him job, right? He would get a job. Soapy felt a hand of his arm. He looked quickly around into the broad face of a cock. Now, what are you doing hanging around here? Asked the cock. Nothing, said Soapy. You think I believe that? Said the cock. So, now the cop is coming unnecessarily and he is asking question. What are you doing hanging out here? Soapy said nothing. Do you think I will believe you? Full of his new strength, Soapy began to argue. Now the words become very pressurized and it's not wise to argue with the New York cop. Come along, said the cop. 3 months prison on Blackwell's Island, said the judge to Soapy next morning. Now children, can you able to analyze this situation? When he wants to go to Blackwell's Island, he tried a lot and everybody treated him as a good boy. Now, he wanted to become a good boy and he wanted to work, but now what happens? Now, 3 months prison on Blackwell's Island is coming to him. That is what is life, right? Story was written by O. Henry. Children, I hope you understood the story and you enjoyed the story. So this is what is a twist in our life, expectations versus reality. What we expected did not happen and reality is totally different. That is what we have to accept the reality and we have to go to the next. So now comprehension check. Answer the following question. What are some of the signs of approaching winter referred to in the text? So the answer is the signs of approaching winter are the movement of birds to warm south, woolen needed by people and the dead leaves covering the ground. Right? 3 points. True or false, dear? Soapy did not want to go to prison. False. Definitely his wish was to go to prison, Blackwell's Island prison. Soapy had been to prison several times. Yes, he had been to prison. True. It was not possible for Soapy to survive in the city through the winter. True, he thought he will not survive. First, Soapy hated to answer questions of A personal nature. True. He don't want to uh, say anything about his personal life. Right. Now, what was Soapy's first plan? Why did it not work? He would go to eat at restaurant and would then tell them he had no money. They would immediately call a cop who would arrest him. But as soon as he put his foot inside the restaurant, the waiters blocked his entry. Thus, his first plan did not work. But the cop's mind would not consider Soapy. Why did the cop not consider Soapy and why? The policeman did not believe Soapy. They did not believe that Soapy had broken the window glass. The reason for was that no such criminal would stop and talk to a policeman. Right? So we have orders to let them shout. What is the policeman referring to? The policeman means to say that he had got orders not to arrest the unruly and shouting college students. The policeman means to say that he had got orders not to arrest the unruly and shouting college students. So the policeman will not give any punishment to college students or school students. That is the rule given to the policeman. Now the sixth question is also true or false. Soapy stole a man's umbrella. True. The owner of the umbrella offered to give it to Soapy. Yes, true. The man had stolen the umbrella that was now Soapy's. Yes, that is also true. Soapy threw away the umbrella. Yes, true. So all four are true, baby. Next, seventh question. There was a sudden and wonderful change in his soul. What brought about the change on Soapy? The sight of the home where Soapy had spent his childhood suddenly changed his outlook. Right? The sight of the home where Soapy had spent his childhood suddenly changed his outlook. The old memories of his mother and the sweet music revived his love for a decent life. He decided to work and become somebody in life. Right? Now the childhood days remembered and the old memories made him to live a decent life. He decided to work. Now discuss the following topics in groups. First question is, suppose no cop came at the end. What would Soapy's life be like through the winter? So all these questions you have to write on your own, dear. In case Soapy was not arrested and sent to prison, he would have started a new life. He might have taken up some job and lived like a normal gentleman. But through the winter, he might have faced the icy winds. Right? So the next discussion is retell an episode in the story which is a good example of irony in a situation. Soapy was keen to be sent to prison for the 3 cold months. He was very keen in the sense he was very constant in his decision that he want to go to prison for 3 cold months. To escape from winter, he decided to go to prison. He made several attempts to get arrested, but none of his plans worked. Finally, when he decided to live a decent life honestly, he was arrested. Such an episode is ironical. So this is what a twist or a reality in life. So children, you discuss among yourself and you have to write on your own. Right? So don't depend on this itself. Complete the classwork, dear. and go through the lesson fully and write all 1 marks possible. Okay.